the Puppetworks Theater at 338 6th Avenue in Brooklyn, lovely Park Slope.
Tell me who you are and why you have come here.
I'm Mike Leach, and I'm a puppeteer. There are worse jobs. I'm playing with dolls for a living. I mean, come on, how much am I going to complain? I show up for work, I get applause. The mailman doesn't get applause when they show up for work. I guess I make kids happy, maybe even educate them or show them something interesting. So it's okay.
By my striped flank, you will be my dinner!
This particular theater, this spot goes back to like 1990. The company goes back quite a bit further than that, under a few different names. The company's roots go back to the 1930s, WPA project.
I started out doing my own shows as a child, having seen a group called the Cesare Marionettes when I was attending PS 200 in Benson Avenue, Brooklyn. And they used to come every year, and I thought, what is this stuff? You know, it embodied all the things I liked. I liked to write, I liked to make things. When I was 19, I was hired to tour with the Cesare Marionettes. We went to all the schools in all the 5 boroughs. And every spring we would go upstate. And in the summer we would go to New England and play in summer camps. We would come in and set up our show and do an evening show and then pack up and leave the next morning. A big hit we took was when TV came along with the Sesame Street and with Mr. Rogers. It implied that puppets were only for the littlest children. Schools, whereas we used to perform up to the 8th grade, started stopping us at 6th grade, and now it's down to the 3rd and 4th grade. The kids want to come, but the parents and teachers think, that's too kiddie for you. That was a big problem for us. So we try to overcome, because our shows are not really geared for the littlest child. We developed to the point where we had like 4 or 5 companies and special jobs like doing things for the Smithsonian. And we started at Macy's every Christmas, and that ended up running 38 years. We were there for 38 years. But we did Christmas shows, and early on we did summer shows and other special shows for them. What we did in the 50s, 60s, and 70s is amazing. I look back now and I said, how did we do that? I mean, I can't imagine doing it now. I was having trouble finding people who could survive these tours, and I'd always wanted a theater so you can control a lot more of what's going on. We came here to Brooklyn. First, we were in Old First Church on 7th Avenue, just for weekends. We still were touring. And then I found a space on 3rd Avenue and Carroll Street. We had our theater finally. Around that time, the space was empty. It had been a former Mexican restaurant. We moved in, and we've been here since.
Calm down, it's just a puppet show.
Mike Leach has been with us for many, many years. He started out working at Macy's as an elf, and he got intrigued with what was going on backstage.
So there I am in an elf suit, and I was assigned to the puppet theater. I snuck backstage during lunch, and that was 26 years ago. I was just going to do this for like a couple of years and then go back to the real world and whatnot. And I don't know, time flies.
Was you like working the puppet by yourself or other people were helping you?
Was I working by myself back there?
No.
No, this guy Nico, he was in my way. But there's 2 of us back there working the puppets back and forth. The audience sees these characters run around the stage. You don't have any puppeteers involved. They just see animals and people telling these stories, and the curtain closes and there's a scene change, and we open up and it's a whole new act. And so it's really like Broadway in 1/3. Great. That's what they perceive. From backstage, it's a little bit different. First off, we see from top down, so we're only looking at the tops of all these characters' heads. This is old technology. Marionettes, strings, wood, cloth. That's what we do. The audience is watching your every move, whether something's tangled or you're trying to adjust something. You're acting with an inanimate object. Like you see a painter paint a picture of an angry man. They do not stand there, shake, and throw their coffee. They calmly sit there and paint.
Come, my loyal subjects, follow your king.
This is kind of guerrilla puppetry. It's two people back there in the dark.
Up you go.
Multiple characters are going to come on and off. You're not sticking to one character. You're playing two characters at the same time often, and you're passing the characters back and forth often, so you're not going to stick. And so we want to have the same kind of body action between the puppets, no matter who's walking them across the stage. We throw in the scene changes. Someone's got to close the curtain. We have to jump down on the bridge, and you're getting the scenery on, changing the backdrop, and we also control our own lights. It's like a dance up there between two puppeteers. It's not just what's going on the stage. We're moving just as much as the puppets are, and we're crossing each other and handing stuff off. And we multitask enough. Having the show pre-recorded is a big help. Everyone associated with the company will do voices, and we do the recordings ourselves. We had one particular fellow named Bruce Haack who worked with us as a pioneer in electronic music. We've had a few incidences during shows. I've had people fall off the bridge. We don't stop, usually. Usually my reaction is, are you going to get up and get the curtain? Way too many holes in everything. I'm not a puppet fan. Never have been. It's what I do.
I'm your king.
Oh, no, you're not. You're just the man cub.
I think the audience comes in, and I assume they're not amused by puppets. They may be creeped out by puppets. They may think they're going to be bored. And then I try to change that. I try to amaze them and do things that you don't expect puppets to be able to do, or subtle movements that they don't expect. So I expect to entertain people. I don't assume they're puppet fans. So I like working from the other way. It's like, let's see what we can do with puppets today and do something interesting. Yeah.